Shabbat Shalom, good afternoon. We are delighted to share this special Shabbat afternoon service to celebrate Jordan's Bar Mitzvah, also known as Yaakov. So before we get started, I just want to take a moment to invite every one of you to check your cell phones and make sure they are on silent or off so that we can create this sacred space here this afternoon without any interruptions. My name is Gail Pomerantz. I'll be the rabbi with you this afternoon. This is Cantor Lisa Siegel, and we are going to warm up this afternoon with the singing of a nigun. A nigun is a wordless melody, which means that you all know the words because there are none. So we hope that you'll sing along.
Ya la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la, ya la la, ya.
It is our custom for our bar mitzvah to lead us in prayers, and so I invite Yaakov to come up to the bima. And for you in our congregation, if you want to open your prayer books to page 220, and if any of you are live streaming this service right now, we welcome you to follow along as well. Page 220.
We chant the Ashrei responsively. Ashrei Yoshvei Veitecha Od Yehalelucha Selah.
Ashrei ha'am shekacha lo, Ashrei ha'am she'Adonai Elohav.
Tehillah leDavid, Aromimcha Elohai HaMelech, Ve'arvacha Shimcha le'olam va'ed.
Bechol yom avarchecha va'ahala shimcha leolam va'ed.
Gadol Adonai umhulal me'od, ve'li dulato echeker.
Dor ledor yishabach ma'asecha, ugvurotecha yagidu.
Hadar kivod hodecha, v'divrei nefleotecha asicha.
Ve'ezuz norotecha yomeru, ugdulatecha asaprena.
Zecher rav tubecha yabiu, ve'tzid katecha yeranenu.
Chanun verachum Adonai, erech hapayim ugdol chesed.
Tov Adonai lakol, ve'rahamav al kol ma'asav.
Yoducha Adonai kol ma'asecha, v'chasidecha yivarchucha.
Kevod malchutecha yomeru, uvaratecha yedaberu.
Lehodia lifnei ha'adam gevurotav, uchvod hadar malchuto.
Malchutecha malchut kol olamim, umemshaltecha bechol dor vador.
Somech Adonai lechol hanoflihim, וזוקף לכל הכפופים.
עיניך אליך יסברו, ואתה נותן להם את אוכלם בעיתו.
פותח את ידיך ומשביע לכל חי רצון.
צדיק אדוני בכל דרכיו, וחציד בכל מעשיו.
קרוב אדוני לכל קוראיו, לכל אשר יקראוהו באמת.
רצון יראיו יעשה, ואת שוועתם ישמע ויושיעם.
שומר אדוני את כל אוהביו, ואת כל הרשעים ישמיד.
תהילת אדוני ידבר פי, ויברך כל בשר שם קודשו לעולם ועד.
ואנחנו נברך יה, מעתה ועד עולם, הללויה.
Please turn to page 224 for the Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ויעמד דברי חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בהגלה ובזמן כהריב, ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר, ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקדושה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמא, ויאמרו אמן.
So Jordan, this is the moment that you're going to receive this beautiful talit from your parents' loving hands with Jerusalem on it. And you know the significance of the talit is the four corners that are called tzitzit, and these corners are supposed to remind us of our obligations to live a good, righteous, and holy life. We need reminders as human beings because we're prone to making mistakes all the time. Now, I know that you told me you love math, and that runs in the family. And there's an interesting math fact that has to do with tzitzit. So in Hebrew, every Hebrew letter has a numerical value. And tzitzit adds up to 600. Each tzitzit has 8 strings and 5 knots. Now, I know you're nervous, but what's 8 plus 5?
13.
13. So 600 plus 13, that's actually the number of mitzvot there are in Jewish tradition. So they're quite literally a reminder. Your bar mitzvah is the very first time that you have the privilege of wearing the talit, but I hope you'll wear it for many, many years to come, and that every time you wear it, you remember your parents' love for you, the way you feel today, and that you feel embraced by God. So now I call up your parents to present you with your talit. And now you'll say the prayer that's said before putting on a talit.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehi'atef b'tzitzit.
Amen. And now you'll put the talit around your son's shoulders. You can give him a big hug. And now we thank God for enabling all of you to reach this very special day with the words of Shehechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Shabbat Shalom. I would like to thank all of you who are watching virtually and those of you that are here today to witness this very important occasion. I am extremely happy to celebrate Jordan's bar mitzvah and only wish that Jordan's grandma Sonia was here by our side. But it helps knowing that she is watching from heaven with great pride and love for her grandson. Let me now speak about the person that Jordan is. In describing their children, most parents speak about their children as being intelligent, kind, athletic, and having other great qualities. I cannot deviate from that because that's Jordan. Jordan is extremely intelligent. His school grades and scores support that, and he needs to be because he says he wants to attend college at the University of Florida, or his second choice, Stanford University. Jordan has always been a very kind, honest, and loving person. He has many good friends, though sometimes it might not seem very friendly if you happen to hear Jordan and his planes interacting while playing video games. He is so competitive, but also very caring. He makes sure to help his friends who have missed class at school and need help with assignments or notes. He adores and looks up to his big brothers, Justin and Drew, and it makes me very happy to see them lovingly interact together. He is very respectful and kind to his grandparents, aunts, and uncles, and a positive influence to his younger cousins. He loves and respects his parents and shows appreciation for everything we do for him. But he has just become a teenager, so let's see if he can maintain that. Jordan loves sports, and he is a natural athlete. The first time he threw a football as a baby, it was a perfect spiral, no kidding. My friends could not believe it when they saw a baby throw a football with better form and accuracy than they ever could. Jordan loves to watch the NBA, college and pro football, international soccer, and most recently, Major League Baseball. He has played and excelled in organized soccer, basketball, and football at the JCC and enjoys the competition. Jordan, I love conversing with you about just anything, whether it be history, movies, sports, politics, religion. We talk about why education, hard work, and commitment are vital in paving your path to the university and profession of your choice. We also talk about faith and our ancestors and why it's important to read and listen to the stories that define our history and keep our Jewish traditions alive. You becoming a bar mitzvah is one of the most traditional and momentous of Jewish symbols and rituals. You have entered adulthood, and I am so very proud of you. You possess the traits and values such as intelligence, honesty, respect, trust, loyalty, and faith to be a great leader and make a difference. Always remember to grow your faith and teach the Jewish traditions that you have learned to others. Make good choices and learn from your mistakes. And most of all, remember that your family loves you and will always be there for you.
Shabbat Shalom. I also begin by expressing my gratitude that you are here with us in person and virtually to join us in this special day for our son. This is one of the proudest days of my life. And Jordan, you have given us many reasons to be proud. But in my heart, this one can be on top. Reading from the Torah and leading our congregation in prayer today just shows what a wonderful young man you have become. The way you have committed yourself to your studies and preparing for this day without complaint is admirable. You understood from a very young age that this was an important aspect in your spiritual life that you needed to conquer. Again, never complaining nor questioning it. Love radiates from my eyes as I see you handle real-life situations, whether stressful or not. You take your studies very seriously, as you have shown us thus far from elementary into the middle school years. I'm always amazed how you could keep up with studying, practicing Hebrew every day, attending your meetings, completing all your schoolwork, being an active member of your extracurricular activities, and still find time to be with family and friends. You balance it all in such an organic way that my respect for you grows immensely every day. I pinch myself often to think how lucky I am to have a son like you. From the moment you came into this world, on that April morning, you had such a gentle and calming way about you that in an instinct, my life felt complete. You have this quiet strength with a big smile, and that gives me a sense of stability that should never be underestimated. You have never needed to prove yourself to anyone because you are calm, cool, collected, as well as strong, smart, and confident. I often stare without you knowing and wonder how a person so young can be so relaxed and keep it all together. You definitely didn't get that from me. I can get intense. The happiest moments for me as I watch you growing up is seeing how you are with family, such as your younger cousins. You are the oldest of the 7 cousins and the leader of that pact. I am amused seeing you have such patience with them, and that you have the easy personality that can find what they enjoy doing, and you enrich those relationships through your kind demeanor. Always so happy to do whatever they want because you know it will make them happy, especially screaming like lunatics around the house. Every time we go over to your grandparents' house, I smile when you ask if your cousins will be there. It makes me feel like you understand that family is everything. What does leave me in awe time and time again since the moment you were born is how you and your brothers are so close. You're like best friends, the 3 amigos. Even though you have a 13-year gap with Justin and 10 years with Drew, it is amazing how you all have the same interests, the way you take care of each other, and how you have so much fun together. Sometimes not even doing anything, lying around the house watching a show or a movie. They come over, they always want to be together, go to the jacuzzi, go to the cabana, go to the beach, always wanting to be together. The brotherly bond that you 3 have created is unbreakable. And as a mom, it brings such peace to my life, as I am confident that my boys will always be there for each other. I only wish Grandma Sonia was here to witness this, because these boys are everything to her. And she would have been very proud of you today. Jordan, I love spending time with you, and sometimes more than you would like. But I'm secure in saying that you always have my back. You have a way of noticing if I'm having a great or not so great day. Right away, you want to talk to me about it, asking me questions, wanting to know more, and even giving me advice and always telling me, it's going to be okay, Mom. You have learned on your own that offering love, a hug, a few words of support can instantly make someone feel better. It makes me proud to think that we have raised you to be kind and empathetic, as well as honest and fair. You also can sometimes be tough on me, especially now that you have entered your teenage years, and now more than before, you don't like it if I try to smother you with affection. I just want you to know that it all comes from a place as I love you to the core of my being. Jordan, I boast about you today because I am a proud mom. As you become a man, I want you to know that you have the power to be who you want to be. All I can say is never give up on your dreams. Continue to be dedicated, kind, sincere. Always tackle hardships with your head up high. You will always persevere, and you will always be successful. You are a wonderful friend, a loving grandson and nephew, fun cousin, amazing brother, and a son who has brought incredible joy to both your dad and I. I understand the importance of the moment of great love and happiness. Today is one of those days, and we must stop and smell the roses and give thanks for the many blessings that surround us. In our family, you are a blessing. I love you, my son.
We turn to page 226 and rise for the Amidah. Adonai, Shivatai Tiftach Ufi Yagiti Hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor Ve'hanorah, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Ve'koneh Hakol, Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot Imachot, Umevi Geula, Livnei B'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer, Umashiach Umagen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah, Tagibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye Hako atah Rav Lehoshiach, Morid Hatah, Mechake Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye Hako Berachamim Rabim, Mechnoflim Verofe Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Hayem Emunato Lishanei Afar, Michamocha Ve'agivurot, Umito Melach melech memit umchaye umatzmi ayeshua ne'eman atah lechayot ha'akol baruch atah Adonai mechaye ha'akol. We remain standing for the Kedusha on page 232.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, כגדת נביאך, קרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש קדוש קדוש, אדוני צבאות, מלוא כל הארץ, Baruch kevod Adonai mimkomo. Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, hu Moshienu, vehu Yashmienu, berachamav le'enei kol hai. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohai Zion, ledor vador. Hallelujah.
Ledor vador,
Ledor vador,
ledor vador,
ledor vador,
ledor vador nagigo lecha. Ledor vador,
ledor vador,
ledor vador,
ledor vador,
ledor vador nagigo lecha. Ulenetzah netzachim kedushacha nagish, kedushacha nagish. V'shivchacha Eloheinu mepinu lo yamush le'olam le'olam va'ed. Ledor vador,
ledor vador,
ledor vador,
ledor vador, ledor vador, nagigo lecha.
ledor vador,
Ledor vador,
ledor vador,
ledor vador,
ledor vador nagigo lecha. Ulenetzah netzachim kedushacha nagdish, kedushacha nagdish. V'shivchacha Eloheinu mepinu lo yamush le'olam le'olam va'ed.
To all generations we will make known your greatness. To all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips.
Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
Please be seated.
That's it for you. You're going to be seated for a little bit, okay?
Now that more than ever we need prayers for peace, and we're grateful right now that there is some sort of peace in the Middle East. We pray that it continues. We sing Shalom Rav on page 240 of your Siddur, Birkat Shalom, a prayer for peace. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amecha, Tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amecha, Tasim le'olam. Ki ata melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata take a few moments for our own silent prayers. Jordan, your parents spoke so beautifully about legacy and tradition, and like your brothers who came before you and your father and others in your family, today is the day that you take your place amongst the Jewish people to receive the Torah, to hold it in your arms, to chant its words, and to teach us Torah. Today's the day that you take your place. Taking your place in an enduring line. This is the day that you stand up to say, our tradition is mine. You will now read the Torah. It's been passed on to you. It's our law and our story, but each telling is new. It is said we stood at Sinai, and today you know you're there. You're the promise of a people, a blessing and a prayer. Taking your place in a resilient line. This is the day that you stand up to say, our tradition is mine. You will now hold the Torah, forge a link to the past. You're the face of our future and the reason we last. Lahalechet bidrachav v'lishmor mitzvotav kol hayamim. May you walk in God's ways, and may all of your days be blessings. It is said we stood at Sinai, and today you know you're there. You're the promise of a people, a blessing and a prayer. You're the promise of a people, a blessing and a prayer.
We're now going to turn to Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the service for the reading of the Torah, which is the main event here, when Jordan will be called up to the Torah as a bar mitzvah. I'm going to call your attention to this brochure that was handed out with Jordan's handsome face on the cover. And inside here is a list of honors which will take place at this point in the service. So we're going to turn in our prayer books, if you wish to follow along, to page 246, and we will rise as the ark doors are opened.
Ki metzion tetzeh Torah, ki metzion tetzeh Torah, udevar Adonai merushalayim, Baruch shenatan Torah HaTorah, Baruch shenatan Torah HaTorah, le'amo Yisrael b'hikdushato, Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadol Adonai yachdav.
Jordan, Yaakov, this is the Torah, Israel's Morashah, our sacred heritage and our inheritance. Wherever the Jewish people has been, the Torah has been with us, guiding us, nourishing us, sustaining us, keeping us on the right path. Today is the day that you recognize that the Torah was written for you. In fact, your Hebrew name, Yaakov, is written throughout the first section of this Torah, the book of Genesis. Our tradition teaches that when God gave the Torah at Sinai, that every Jew that ever was or would be was present at that moment, which means you were there at Sinai, but you don't remember it, do you? No. And that's what today is all about, because today is that reenactment. Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks, who was the chief rabbi of England, said that we only pass on to our children what we ourselves love. This Torah has been passed to you in love. In fact, your father taught you Hebrew, and he was such a good teacher, I think we might have to get him as one of our Hebrew tutors here at Temple Beth Shalom. But symbolic of that chain of tradition, I'm going to invite up your grandparents and your parents to pass the Torah to you.
We are gifts and we are blessing. We are history in song. We are hope and we are healing. We are learning to be strong. We are words and we are stories. We are pictures of the past. We are carriers of wisdom, not the first and not the last. Lador vador nagid god lecha. Lador vador, we protect this chain from generation to generation. Lador vador, these lips will praise your name. Lador vador, nagid god lecha. Lador vador, we protect this chain from generation to generation. Lador vador, these lips will praise your name. Lecha Adonai hagedula v'hagevura v'hativeret v'hanetzach v'hahod ki chol b'shamayim u'va'aretz ki chol b'shamayim u'va'aretz lecha Adonai hamamlacha v'haminaseh lechol rosh.
You may be seated.
We talked about nice and slow, okay? Slow. Pause here. Take it off. Okay.
Welcome and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I would like to express how happy and grateful I am that you have taken the time to join me for this special day in my life. It is important to me that you are all able to witness virtually or in person as today I affirm my Jewish identity. I begin by talking to you about my Torah portion. My Torah portion is called Baha'alotecha. It is found in the book of Numbers, which is called Bamidbar. Bamidbar is the fourth book of the Torah. My Torah portion contains 5 parts to it. The first is about God speaking to Moses about the menorah for the tent of meetings. The second includes the creation of a second Passover due to those who were unable to observe the holiday during the month of Nisan. The third includes a cloud by day and night that shows the presence of God over the tabernacle. The fourth is how the Israelites complained about a lack of meat, causing Moses to become frustrated, and God later striking them with a plague. The fifth talks about Moses' two siblings, speaking about the Cushite woman Moses had married. In addition, they complained that God only spoke through Moses and not through any of them. This caused Miriam to be stricken with leprosy. The lesson I learned in studying this Torah portion is to be grateful for what we have, and that sometimes we will not always get what we want. There are certain rules that need to be followed, and sometimes there are leaders that we need to trust, such as how Moses showed leadership in this Torah portion. Anxiety and concerns among the people did arise, and it became a challenge for Moses. His leadership, however, helped him to remain a leader who had great patience when not everyone agreed with him. Another lesson I learned is that we need to understand that everyone is different, and we should try to make others welcome and accepted, even if they have differences that we do not understand or are familiar with. Being open-minded and empathetic can help us build longer tables and not higher walls. I now lead a new path, and I have further understanding of what it means to be a man. One important aspect I learned as I prepared to become a bar mitzvah is I will now be responsible to perform mitzvah or good deeds. I look forward to these responsibilities and how my future will be enriched through my religion. The past 2 years of studies prepared me for this day and made me a better person. Becoming a bar mitzvah means I will continue my awareness of how important mitzvah can be to our daily lives and lives of others. The smallest acts of kindness can go a long way, and I have committed myself to becoming a more involved person from here on. My first experience in volunteering in the community was at an event for the Little Lighthouse Foundation. We helped prepare and distribute gifts to children who are less fortunate. It was not just about passing out gifts, but I was able to get to know the families as we were given time to be one-on-one with the children and converse with them when they first arrived. It brought such joy to see and understand how happy the children were for that moment to have the opportunity to open a gift for the holiday season. Little things we take for granted can change a child's life in an instant. I also had the opportunity to experience the importance of mitzvah when I volunteered at the Lotus House. This is a place that women and children can seek shelter and a safe place to get nutritious meals. The people I have met are so kind and appreciate that we are there. I learned that there are people who are in need and can benefit from our support. They have taught me we should think about others besides ourselves. Many times we can go out and do physical mitzvot, so I now also understand that giving tzedakah money is just as helpful. We must find ways to spread the word around about these great organizations and educate others on how monetary donations can help organizations like Lotus House and the Little Lighthouse Foundation thrive and put together events for the good of the community. I plan to be an active member of society by continuing to find ways to serve the community. As I become a bar mitzvah, I also get to read from the Torah, which my ancestors have done for thousands of years. It is an honor as I get to do this today with you as witnesses for the first time. I'm really proud of that accomplishment. This is an accomplishment that I could not have done without the help and guidance of many people in my life. I would like to express my thanks to those who have been with me through this journey. To begin, my dad was my teacher and the one who took the time to teach me how to read Hebrew. If it wasn't for him, this process would have been very difficult, as he was always so patient and made Hebrew class not stressful. Thanks to my mom for making sure I was always studying, planning my meetings, and getting everything ready so my big day would run smoothly. My brothers Justin and Drew for being amazing brothers and positive role models in my life. I appreciate Cantor Nicholson for meeting with me weekly to study Hebrew. She also made sure I knew how to chant everything correctly and I was prepared with all I needed to learn. My mentor, Barb Szymanski, was another important part as she helped me to outline my speech and checking in if I ever needed her guidance. I want to express gratitude for Rabbi Pomerantz and Cantor Siegel for making me feel at ease and comfortable that today was going to be successful through our meetings and rehearsals. And of course, all of my family and friends who are here virtually or in person to show support. This is a great experience and one I will never forget. Shabbat Shalom.
Your speech was so meaningful, powerful, and beautifully delivered. And now that your father has taught you Hebrew, the next job is going to be for you to teach your mother Hebrew, and we're going to pass it along, right? Okay, so now in just a moment, Jordan is going to call up his aliyot, and I'll invite you, if you wish, to put aside your prayer books, and you can take out, if you want, your big, thick Torah commentaries if you'd like to follow along with Yaakov's chanting. So he's going to be on page 952 in the large commentary, page 952, chapter 8, starting with verse 1.
Here's a yacht. Oh, you have one already.
Ya'amdu ha'olim la'aliyah harishona. For the first aliyah, I would like to call on my aunt and uncle, Eva and Jerry Zender, my aunt Sally Friedberg, and my cousins, Kiki Zender, Mancini, Jason Zender, Susie, Michael, Adam, and Jackie Friedberg to the Torah.
Okay, so who's going to do it? Who's leading the blessing?
I guess so. I don't know. I'll do it.
Whatever you
You
guys,
do
just all together, whatever.
Ready?
Yeah, I'll read it over
Thank you,
here.
Sally.
For Sally. Jackie.
Baruch Hu es Adonai HaBarach.
Baruch Adonai HaMavarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMavarach Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam. Asher Baruch Banu Mikol Ha'amim. V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai Nosein HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. Daber el ha'aron ba'amarta elav baha'alotecha et hanerot el mul panei hamenorah ya'iru shivat hanerot vayaken ha'aron el mul panei hamenorah he'elah neroteha ka'asher tziva Adonai et Moshe.
The blessing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Natan Lanu Torah Met V'chaya Lanu Matah. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Greet your relatives. Greet everybody. Give them a mazel tov. Okay, you guys are all going to move this side.
Ya'amdu ha'olim la'aliyah hashniya. For the second aliyah, I would like to call on my grandparents, Clelia and Orlando Bueno, and my aunt and uncle, Monica and William DeLauro, to the Torah.
pray.
Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bahar Banu Mikol Ha'amim Venatan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Visit Ma'aseh HaMenorah Misha Zahav Ad Yerecha Ad Pircha Misha Hi Kamar Asher He'a Adonai Et Moshe Ken Asa Et HaMenorah Vaydaber Adonai El Moshe Lemor Ka et Havi mitoch Penei Yisrael Betiharta
Otam.
Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Natan Lanu Torat Emet V'Hayei Olam Nata Betochenu. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Ya'amdu Halim Lalaya Hashlishit Avi Yitzchak ben Shemuel Besarah Emi Gavriela bat Shivra Avraham Besarah Be'achi Yehuda ben Yitzchak Begivriela Be'achi David ben Yitzchak Gabriela. For the third Aliyah, I would like to call up my parents, Carolina and John Blumenthal, my grandfather, Ramon Blumenthal, and my brothers, Justin and Drew Blumenthal, to the Torah.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Hamim Venatan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Becho ta'aseh lahem v'taharam hazeh elehem mechatat ve'eviru tar al kol besaram ve'chibesu bigdehem ve'hiteharu ve'lakehu par ben bakar umin chato solet belula vashamen ufarshene ben bakar tikach lechatat vehikravta et havim lifnei ohel moed vehikhalta et kol adat penei Israel.
Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Natan Lanu Torat Emet V'Hayei Olam Nata Betochenu. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
The final aliyah is known as the maftir, and it's the final verses of the Torah portion. So if you're following along, we'll turn to page 966, chapter 12, verse 14. And it's our custom that our bar mitzvah chant the maftir from our Sephardic scroll, which is in the ark. So we will once again open the doors of the ark, and if you are able, we invite you to please rise.
Ya'amod, Ya'amod, Habachur bar hamitzvah va'aliyat haTorah, Yaakov ben Yitzchak v'Gavriela, Chazak, Chazak.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayomer Adonai el Moshe ve'aviha yarok befaneha halo tikalem shivat yamim tisager shivat yamim michutz lamachane ve'achar te'aseh vatisager Miriam mechutz lamachane shivat yamim והעם לא נסע עד האסף מרים ואחר נסעו העם מחצרות ויחנו במדבר הרן. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chaye olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Mazel tov.
You can be seated. Wait, hold on.
The Haftorah for Shabbat, Baha'alotecha, can be found on page 974. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar bin vi'im tovim veratza v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah u'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo u'b'nvi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek. Roni v'simchi bat Zion ki hineni va v'shachanti v'toche ne'um Adonai v'nevu goyim rabim el Adonai bayom ahu והיו לי לעם ושכנתי בתוכך וידע כי אדוני צבאות שלחני אלייך ונחל אדוני את יהודה חלקו על אדמת הקודש ובחר עוד בירושלים אז כל בשר מפני אדוני כי נאור ממעון קודשו. Our Haftorah continues toward the end at chapter 4, verse 7. מעתה הר הגדול לפני זרובבל למישור בהוציא את האבן הראשה תשועות חן חן לך ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם צור כל העולמים צדיק בכל הדורות האל הנאמן האומר ועושה המדבר ומקיים שכל דבריו אמת וצדק על התורה ועל העבודה ועל הנביאים ועל יום השבת הזה שנתת לנו אדוני אלוהינו לקדושה ולמנוחה לכבוד ולתפארת על הכל אדוני אלוהינו אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך יתברך שמך בפי כל חי תמיד לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Oh, I love seeing that smile on your face. That's the best part of not having a mask on, is we get to see that smile. So you all have candy in your hands. Just hold on to it. Wait, no, I was just going to say, don't throw it. Don't throw it. Hold on to it. Don't eat it. Because this is Jordan's chance for getting his blessing, which he has so well earned. You chanted beautifully, you learned so much, which is a credit to your father, to Cantor Nicholson, and mostly to you. Your Torah portion, as you know, was about the lighting of the menorah in the ancient tabernacle. And you shined on this bima today, and you brought light to everybody who loves you. And you made Cantor Siegel, myself, Cantor Nicholson, so proud of you. You've learned a tremendous amount in a short time, and we want you to continue learning. So I have a little lesson for you from your Torah portion, and it has to do with your maftir, okay? So you told me you like math. We already spoke about math. I'm going to stay on that subject, maybe because I don't like math. And I'm so in awe of people who like math. This is a story about something that Rabbi Jack Reamer calls spiritual arithmetic. So what's the difference between spiritual arithmetic and regular math? In regular math, 2 is more than 1, 3 is more than 2, 4 is more than 3. In spiritual arithmetic, 1 is equal to 2, 1 is equal to 4, 1 is equal to 1,000. So what does that mean? In your Torah portion, you read in your maftir about Miriam, who was afflicted with leprosy. And while she was afflicted, she was quarantined outside the camp for 1 week. Sounds familiar, right? Like we can all really understand that this year more than ever before. While she was quarantined, all 600,000 of the Israelites waited for her. She was only one person, but they all waited. Now, you might say that was a waste of time for so many people to be detained because of one person. But in spiritual arithmetic, one person is equal to 600,000. In our tradition, we believe that every single person is like an entire universe. Today, you begin to count in our community of Jewish adults, and we count on you. We need you. I know you love basketball and you love football and you're on all these teams. We need you on our Jewish team. And we need you to show up again and again. We're so proud that you chose to make this commitment, and we look forward to watching you continue to grow into the stellar young man that you are becoming. And now it's my pleasure to bless you in the words of our ancients. Come closer. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you, Yaakov. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yikunecha. May the light of God's face shine on you and shine through you and always be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's presence always be with you and your family and grant you a lifetime of health, of joy, of learning, of love, and of peace. And may you be among those who helps to bring that shalom, that wholeness and peace to our world. Amen. And mazel tov.
Thank you.
And now you can shower him with sweetness.
Simmin tov, a mazel tov, a mazel tov, a simmin tov, a mazel tov, a simmin tov, a mazel tov, a simmin tov, yeah, lanu. Simmin tov, a mazel tov, a simmin
No,
tov.
come on up. Come help clean the bima.
Simmin tov, a mazel tov, a simmin tov, yeah, lanu. Yeah.
So we are going to return the Torah to the ark, and once again rise if you're able and face Jerusalem for the chanting of Aleinu on page 282.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol la'teit gedula liyotzeh bereshit shelo asanu kigoyeh ha'aratzot velo samanu kimishpachot ha'adama shelo samech elkeinu kahem vegor aleinu kechol hamonam va'anachnu korim u'mishnachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom ha'hu yihei Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
We're going to remain standing and turn to page 294 for words of Kaddish. And at this moment, we remember those beloveds of this family who are no longer physically with us, but are with us spiritually. And as John already said, they are so proud. They're kvelling. You know what kvelling is? Feeling so proud. They're kvelling in heaven. So we remember at this time Sonia Blumenthal, Hugo Friedeberg, Walter Friedeberg, and Esperanza Bueno. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing to all you who knew them and who love them. We remember as well the 6 million men, women, and children who perished in the Holocaust, and the over 24,000 Israeli soldiers who died so that we would have a Jewish homeland. We think as well of those who died in recent days in Israel, all the innocents who died. And we remember our American soldiers who died defending our liberties. We take them all into our hearts with our own as we praise God with these words of Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agala v'zman kari v'yimru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'olam olmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudasha berichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Osei shalom bimromav, huya say shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all people everywhere. And let us say, amen. You may be seated, except for you, Jordan. You come up here. And I am going to present you with some gifts on behalf of the congregation. So we are very proud of you and are really delighted for your parents. Not only was it fun to see you smile, but it was fun to see how proud your parents are of you, and deservedly so. This is a Kiddush cup from the Sisterhood of Temple Beth Shalom for you to have Shabbat wine with your family or grape juice. This is the Tanakh, which is a Jewish Bible that you can take with you wherever you go on your Jewish journey. And then we have a number of certificates here for you. So the first, maybe the most important, is your bar mitzvah certificate verifying that Jordan David Blumenthal was called to the Torah on May 22nd, the 11th of Sivan, 5781. He did it. And you'll always remember a bar mitzvah during a pandemic. Here we have a certificate that the clergy and staff of Temple Beth Shalom planted a tree in Israel in your honor. And here we have 2 gift certificates to help your family pay for an experience in Israel. After your 10th grade year of confirmation, this is for the Nifty in Israel trip, or you may choose to go on the high school in Israel trip. Either way, we want you to go to Israel. And really, most importantly, Jordan, now that we have you studying with us, we really want you to continue. So we hope that you'll continue your studies through confirmation, and then maybe in 11th and 12th grade that you'll join one of our fellowships so that you can continue your Jewish learning and your Jewish growth. We're so proud of you. And now we're going to take the opportunity to conclude our worship service and say goodbye to Shabbat. Jordan has brought such sweetness into our Shabbat celebration today, and we hope to take some of that with us into the coming week. So I'm going to invite his parents and his brothers to join us here on the Bima for the ritual of Havdalah. And if you want, you can move closer. You can stay in your seat, or you can move a little bit closer here. Havdalah means separation, and it's the ritual where we mark the conclusion of Shabbat and the beginning of the rest of the week.
La 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 יש לכל.
And the next thing we do is wish each other a Shavua Tov, a good week, a week of peace. Let's all take some of the beauty of this Shabbat with us moving forward.
Shavua Tov, 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 Shavua Tov. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. And now, Jordan, we have a special closing song for you. Hit it.